Have you built anything this week? Have you built anything with, I don't know, some scrap wood lying around, or with some, I don't know if any of you have Lincoln logs or anything like that, but today I built something. I built myself a little mini clubhouse using Legos. Yes, Miss Dollar has her own Legos in her house. Can you believe it? I have them for when I have friends who have kids who come to visit. So I built myself this really cool hangout spot. I like it. I think I'm going to keep it as a decoration over here. So kindergarten, our question this week says, what can friends build together? Well, I know that we can't always build things with our friends right now, but what is something that you can build at home? If you have built something really cool, maybe out of Legos or Lincoln logs or anything you have lying around, maybe you built a really cool pillow fort. I don't know. Take a picture of it and send it to me. I'd love to see it, kindergarten. This week, we are also talking about how we can put the plot in order. We can put the plot in order. That means there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. So we have to put the plot in order, but why? Why, kindergarten, do you think we need to put that plot in order? We need to do that so it makes sense. Just like when we write a sentence, our words have to be in order so it makes sense. Well, same with our story. It would not make sense if I said, Miss Dollar put her jammies on. Miss Dollar woke up. Miss Dollar ate dinner. What? That makes no sense, kindergarten. Let's see if we can put that in order. Miss Dollar ate dinner. Miss Dollar put her jammies on. And then Miss Dollar woke up because I probably went to bed somewhere in there too, huh? Sometimes Miss Dollar puts her jammies on and then eats dinner. But that's another story for another time, kindergarten. We don't need to talk about how Miss Dollar gets tired at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So kindergarten, I want to know, what are some things that you can build with your friends, and how do you build them? Because just like putting the plot in order, when we build something, we have to put those instructions in order too. We have 2 new words to learn about today. Let's go check them out. Your first new word today, kindergarten, is gathered. Gathered. If you gather something up, what do you do? Or sometimes I like to say that my friends and I gathered together. What does it mean if you gather? If you gather, it means that you put stuff together. So right here, these kids are gathering apples. It looks like they have gone apple picking. They're gathering them. They're collecting them. They're putting them all together. They're putting all of their apples in a basket. Sometimes I like to get together with my friends. I say that my friends have gathered. We've all gotten together in one place. Right now, my friends and I are gathering online. We're using things like Zoom or Google Hangouts or FaceTime. We're using all of those different things, and we are gathering on the internet. It's pretty cool right now, kindergarten. Our next word is drifting. Drifting. What do you think it means if you drift? Do you see a picture that shows drifting? It would be this picture right here, this boat. This boat is just drifting out to sea. If you drift, you just kind of go with the flow. Maybe your mom or dad have ever told you, just drift off to sleep. It means that you're not making yourself sleep. It means that you're not trying to push yourself into sleep. You're just relaxing and letting yourself drift off to sleep. Well, same thing with this boat right here, kindergarten. Same thing with that boat. That boat isn't being pulled or pushed anywhere. It is just drifting with the water. It's going with the waves. Let's go read our story about how Kip and Alistair drifted out to sea in their homemade boat. Our story this week, kindergarten, is Alistair and Kip's Great Adventure. We have an author who's also the illustrator. That is John Siegel. So he's the author, which means he wrote the words, and he's the illustrator because he drew the pictures. All right, kindergarten, here we go. It was Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday morning now, kindergarten. Alistair was bored. What things you do when you're bored? Sometimes when I'm bored, I watch TV, I knit. Last night I was bored, so I painted my nails. That was fun. Kip, let's do something new, said Alistair. We could build a boat and travel to far and distant lands. What kind of boat? Asked Kip. These are the different types of boats they could build. A cat boat, a sloop, a dory, that one just looks like a little rowboat, a scow, a ketch, a skiff, and a kayak. Alistair knew just what to do. He and Kip gathered wood and paint, and cloth and rope. I wonder what they're going to do with that cloth and rope. And hammer and nails, and they went to work. They measured, cut, hammered, and glued. What tool are they using to measure? They're using, it's like a special type of ruler. It looks like a right angle, like the letter L. It looks like the letter L. They cut, they are using saws. They hammered. What do we use when we hammer? We use a hammer. That's pretty easy to know. And they glued. There's a special type of glue called wood glue, and it's like super strong. It holds wood together. Before they knew it, their boat was built. Ready, Kip? Gee, Alistair, I don't know. But it was too late. Alistair had cast off. The boat was drifting downstream. Quick, Kip, jump in, shouted Alistair. Their voyage had begun. Of our two characters, which one do you think is the most excited to go on a trip? I think Alistair. Who is the least excited? I think Kip. Can you think of any words to describe how Kip feels about this new adventure? He might feel apprehensive, nervous, scared. He's not so sure about this adventure. They rowed down the creek, to the river, into the bay. Remember last week we talked about how rivers can lead to bigger bodies of water, like lakes or the ocean, and out to sea. They were a long way from home. Who do you see out in the distance? There's a whale out there. Suddenly, a giant wave picked up the boat and hurled it through the air. Whoa, things got bad real quickly, kindergarten. Whew. Another wave pulled Alistair and Kip down deep into the sea. What kind of sea creatures do you see? I see a squid. I think that might be a shark. There's a crab. And I see lots of fish. Oh, look, kindergarten. This fish is going to eat this little fish. But this big fish is going to eat this medium-sized fish. Ooh. Kip, look, an island. There's the island that they think that they found. What do we know that it really is? Phew. What was that? Boom. They were sitting on a whale. They were sitting on its blowhole. Help! Hey, you scared me, bellowed the whale. Please, help us. We need to get home. Well, why didn't you say so? Climb aboard. Oh my goodness, there they are on this whale, just hanging out. And there's a ship. That ship looks so small next to this giant whale. They rowed through the bay to the river and up the creek. Would a whale fit in a creek? I wonder. All the way home. Goodbye and thank you, said Alistair. That was fun, Kip. Tomorrow, let's build an airplane. Look at Kip. Do you think Kip wants to build an airplane after their crazy adventure today? Probably not. So kindergarten, we know that Alistair is the one who wants to go on adventures, and Kip is a little apprehensive or nervous about it. Do you think this story is real or fantasy? I think this story is fantasy because animals are talking and because a whale cannot fit into a creek. That would not work. It would get stuck. Kindergarten, let's talk about the plot of this story. What was the thing that happened first? What's the first thing that happened? Kip said, or Alistair said, he was bored. So after that, they decided, well, Alistair decided that they would build a boat. After they built a boat, they decided they would row it out and go on an adventure. After they did that, there was a really bad storm. Whoops. And then they climbed aboard what they thought was an island, but it was really a whale. And then the whale gave them a ride all the way home. That's the plot of our story, kindergarten. These two friends were bored. They built a boat. They went on an adventure. Something bad happened on that adventure, and then a whale gave them a ride home. That is the plot of our story, kindergarten. All right, you are doing a great job today so far. I'm going to put our book down, and I'm going to grab our bucket and a warm fuzzy. It almost jumped out of my hand. Kindergarten, you have another warm fuzzy today. It is getting nice and full inside this bucket. I'll see you guys in a little bit.